Hello, my name is Zane Donahue,
I'm Julian Calderon.
and this is the first episode of the First Draft podcast.
Woo!
Oh, wait, actually, I think I can play a sound effect. Wait.
Oh, wait, seriously?
Oh my god, it's 37 seconds of this. It's 30 seconds.
Oh, wait, what?
Wait. Can you hear that?
I can't hear anything. What is that?
There was just really loud cheering. Okay,
Are you okay if I do Playboy Cardi ad-libs throughout this, though? Like...
No, we're not. This is the second run. Our first podcast was just only about opium. We weren't getting enough traction, so we decided to do movies.
Opium movies.
Oh, yeah, these are the okay. Okay. Well, we met at New York Film Academy over the summer, a 3-week filmmaking camp.
Yeah, unfortunately, the others, I guess, just didn't want to do this, but...
I think the others didn't, watch movies. I think that's the main issue.
I feel like we're the only two who are, really crazy about film and would be like...
Yeah, Jake... Yeah, no, we're talking to Jake. Jake was like, yeah, I've seen a movie before.
I've seen I've seen
a handful.
Bro, imagine doing this with Jake and, him doing Superman, bro. Why is he flying?
Yeah, no. But, we're both aspiring writer-directors, filmmakers, and we thought it would be a good idea to have a little podcast, a weekly podcast, where we kind of break down and analyze movies.
I mean, I already talk about movies every day. I watch movies every day. I might as well, just put it out there, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. We're not at all doing this for college. That's not even on our, what is college?
What's that? What's a college?
What's college? But the general gist is that for this one we were talking about 2 movies, but moving forward I think we're going to do 2 movies, and we're going to do 3 and a third that neither of us have seen. And we're also going to do director rankings, which we'll talk about towards the end about how that'll work. But for
yep.
Yeah, a little director retrospectives. For this first episode, I picked Clint Eastwood's 1992 film Unforgiven.
And I picked Michael Mann's underappreciated crime thriller, Manhunter. His name's Manhunter. That's pretty cool.
The cheering sound effect is playing. Sorry,
someone's knocking at my door.
Oh.
Hey, Carolyn.
Jersey Mike's Hoagie, would you like?
I don't like Jersey Mike's. Well, I mean, I've never had it.
Okay, so you don't know if you like it.
No, that's
how do you edit this out of this?
No, we're keeping this.
What about a cheesesteak?
Yeah, I'll take a cheesesteak. Yeah, can I get a soda too?
Yeah, root beer?
Yeah, I'll take root beer. Thanks, man.
Please?
Yeah, say please, Julian.
Can you please edit this out?
Yeah,
I'm doing a film podcast with my friend right now.
Go follow Caroline.
Okay, no, that part we're cutting out. We're not free promo. Free.
Just instantly plugging your Instagram out.
Free. We don't do free promo on this podcast.
Get that out of here, bro.
Any sponsors? We're not going to say what our fee is. We're not going to say if it's 50 times what you would expect it to be.
I will accept Playboy Cardi tickets as payment.
We should start talking about Manhunter.
Yeah, let's talk about Manhunter.
Manhunter is directed by Michael Mann, known of Heat fame. He's also done Thief, The Last of the Mohicans.
He also did Public Enemies, and that movie sucks. I hate that movie.
Yeah. I mean, he makes movies that are terrible.
He's a garbage director. Why are we even talking about him? Who picked this movie?
Yeah, for real. No, but I'm a big Michael Mann guy. And
I love that guy.
Manhunter is adapted from Thomas Harris's 1981 Red Dragon. And this is kind of the precursor to Silence of the Lambs, which is a much more well-known and critically regarded film than Manhunter.
I don't know how this take is going to get me later on the video when we're discussing it. I think this is the best film regarding Hannibal Lecter. I think this movie blows Silence of the Lambs out of the water.
Out of the water, really?
Out of the water, yeah.
This was the first Hannibal Lecter film that's kind of inspired I mean, this gave us Red Dragon. I haven't seen Red Dragon, but it's the one with Edward Norton. This gave us Songs of the Lambs, the Hannibal TV show. I mean, this is like the precursor.
Dude, that show is so good. Oh my God.
I actually just started it. I've heard very good things.
I'm on season 3, like the first episode. It's so good, dude.
I've heard it's good, but
it's really good.
This also, I mean, even though this was not a big hit at the time, this was kind of a box office like flop. Very mixed reviews. Only made a little bit more than $8 million at the box office, and has been hugely overshadowed by Silence of the Lambs and that movie's fame and just cultural status. But I think Manhunter has now gained a cult following where a lot more people appreciate it.
How did just like off the top of like your head, maybe how did Thief do like in the box office and with critics? Because like that came out before Manhunter, right?
Yeah, that was Man's second.
Shoot,
Jamie, can we pull this up?
Are you doing Joe Rogan right now? Can Jake be your Jamie?
Thief made more than made close to 12 million and made more than Manhunter.
Yeah, and when you look at
it seems surprising, actually. I think this is a much more marketable movie than Thief. Not to say that Thief is
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
Not to say that Thief is like this avant-garde, like unprofitable movie, but I feel like I feel like nowadays, if you showed a modern audience Thief and Manhunter, I feel like more would want to see Manhunter.
I feel like also in regarding to what Michael Mann's like filmography would go on to be with like Heat and like what are some like Last of the Mohicans. I think that's also him. Yeah. This is not the kind of movie when you're looking back at his filmography, you're like, oh yeah, of course he made that. Those are much more longer, slow burn films. This is weird. Like,
yeah, this is a strange one for him. But I think it does still have. I'm glad you brought that up because I think this does have. It's very different from his filmography, but there's a lot of like we can see even early on a lot of his like obsessions and like what he likes to write about, like just the idea of professionals versus criminals.
When you watch this movie and then you immediately watch Heat, same director, same everything. You could think these were made a day after each other. You believe it?
Yeah.
Like even in the way he uses like darker tints in the color blue, that definitely came.
Yeah. Like there's. I love watching early films from like very well-known filmmakers. You see how like all their obsessions start to fall. I think this is also true with the Coens. Like watching some of the Coens' early films, you see so many things they like for the rest of their careers they'll think about and write about, and you just see that like their first outings. Mm-hmm. But I want to go back to how like this is a very different film from a lot of stuff he's done, but it's also very similar. Mm-hmm. I think he's one of the first that kind of realized that like the ideological structure of a cop narrative versus a killer narrative are very similar, and they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, it's crazy to look at Manhunter, a movie like this, because it's like a true crime procedural. I mean, this is like you can look at how this inspired Seven, like a lot of cop shows, Zodiac, even like this is. It feels like it sets. Yeah,
you could totally look at this and then look at Seven and be like, this movie totally inspired that. The way they just look at like how cops relate to the people they chase and how they just lose themselves and stuff like this. It's all comes from like this film and Graham.
Yeah, and from Will Graham specifically, just that character.
I think this film definitely like I don't want to say like pioneered because this probably existed for a while, but like this idea of like a tortured cop who's being eaten alive and by like his job, that totally like probably stems from this. You can see that any like crime film, crime TV show, especially like today.
Yeah, but one thing I to also add on to that, I like that he is kind of this stoic cop and he's consumed by his obsession, but he's still like a good family man. Like he's emotionally open with his son, with his wife. Like he cares about them. Like they give him a heart beyond just the fact that he's like a hard-boiled cop.
It would have been so easy to just make him a stereotypical like antisocial jerk cop who's only still on the force because he's good at his job and his gift. But they clearly make him seem like a person who resents himself for being this good at like his job. Especially that scene when he fights with his boss over bringing him back onto the case, knowing he would get so obsessive over it and let it consume him and only want to solve it at that point.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing I do want to bring up, how do you between Brian Cox's portrayal as Hannibal versus Anthony Hopkins, what do you think about that?
Obviously, I'm just gonna put this out there. The show has the best representation of him. I know my
Mads Mikkelsen, yeah.
He controls that role. When I think of Hannibal Lecter, I think of Mads Mikkelsen. But in regards to Hannibal as Anthony Hopkins, Brian Cox, maybe it's just because I'm a giant Succession fan. I'm gonna say Brian Cox, man. He is just such a jerk and just so mean to Will Graham for this movie. I adore that role of him.
I will say I'm a big Succession guy. I love Brian Cox. I kind of they're very different performances between Hopkins and Cox. Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins feels more like this sophisticated, he feels more iconic as a serial killing cannibal. Brian Cox just feels like a crazy person, and that's just perfect for the role. He's not doing anything over the top, but every scene with him is so unsettling, just in all of his little mannerisms.
Yeah, because Anthony Hopkins, it's a well-known, it's a great performance, but he's hamming it up a lot. It really works when he does it, but he is definitely hamming up the creep factor, the everything. He knows what he's doing. Where I think Brian Cox is a much more subdued portrayal of him, where it feels like Brian Cox, Anthony Hopkins just feels like a psychopath. Where it feels like Brian Cox, he's a psycho. He's a crazy person who's trying to act normal, but he can't.
When I think of it, when I think about it, this might sound weird, but when I break it down in my head, it kind of feels like comparing Tuco and Todd from Breaking Bad. One of them is very clearly an over-the-top, crazy person. The other one is such a deeply unsettling, serial killer in the form of Todd.
You're talking about Todd, or is it Lalo?
Oh, Todd. From season 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Nazi.
Yeah. Also, off topic, all-time performance from Jesse Plemons in that role. I think Todd might be one of the most underappreciated TV bad guys of all time. Love him.
Good shout. Yeah, I agree. But
oh my god, I love Jesse Plemons, dude.
I think he's an underappreciated actor for sure.
Him in Game Night, so much fun, dude.
Great shout. Great.
You see that movie?
I love Game Night. I thought we were going to get distracted because we can't talk about a movie without mentioning, this reminds me of 40 other things.
No, can we just talk about Game Night for a second?
No, we're not talking about Game Night.
Go watch Game Night real quick. This is hilarious.
But this movie, I know, so Silence of the Lambs is this is about Red Dragon. This is an adaptation of that. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. They're different novels, but they use Lecter in very... I think they're kind of similar, but in wildly different ways too.
Mm-hmm. I feel like another thing, we could talk about Will Graham. I'm not Will Graham. We could talk about Hannibal Lecter all day. I feel like we should really compare the use of protagonists in movies, though.
From Clarice.
Agent Starling and Will Graham, they are two violently different protagonists. One is just starting the job and getting used to being around Hannibal Lecter. The other is so uncomfortably connected and personal with him. It's so much fun to see the comparisons in their
head. That makes a good dichotomy because it feels like Hannibal Lecter's almost prying with Clarice, he's trying to really dig into her brain. Where Brian Cox with Will Graham, he's already there.
He's just messing with him. He's just
there's already
rage baiting him at that point.
Michael Mann does a really good job of you can just feel their history and how they even before Will Graham tells the story about how they met. You feel that relationship when Graham goes to visit him in jail.
I think another thing to point out is the use of camera work in both scenes. Because in Silence of the Lambs, when shooting Starling and Hannibal, it's the choice to have a window of clear glass separating them, no bars. So in close-ups, you can only get their face, as opposed to the all-white bars contrast in Manhunter, and the kind of forced perspectives of putting the camera behind the bars. It just makes it so much different for their relationships. I feel like that's a really
I do. I really love all the shots between the bars between Will Graham and Lecter. So good.
So good, dude.
Something I want to dig into is just the idea of the Red Dragon. I mean, it's the name of the novel, and it's not used as prevalently in Manhunter, but it's still like it still has a great purpose. I mean, you have the tattoo. I mean, the what's the name? The Tooth Fairy. Dollar.
Yeah, the tattoo is in Red Drag.
He literally has the Red Dragon tattoo on him. He's obsessed with this painting.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the first film to use the Red Dragon tattoo on Dollarhide's back, that's the Red Dragon with Ed Norton and Ralph Fiennes. This movie, I think, does not have the tattoo.
I thought it was on his chest. Am I tripping?
Yo, Jake, can you Google that for me real quick?
Yo, Jake, can you Google this for us?
Maybe I'm tripping, or...
No, he has. Yeah, when he kidnaps the reporter,
Freddie Lambs.
And he does all that. Jake is looking this up for us. When he kidnaps the reporter, he has the span, like, what is it? Not, it's like latex over his face.
Mm-hmm. I know it shows him.
He has. It doesn't really look like the Red Dragon tattoo, but it's supposed to be.
Oh.
But yeah, but I really love just the idea of that painting, and then you put that into perspective of, in his mind, he sees himself as the dragon and his victims as the woman. I mean, especially, I forget her name, but the blind woman he starts to see.
Oh, yeah, the girl.
Yeah, the blind woman. She's supposed to be this woman, but we get so much more to Dollarhide's character because he wants to be the dragon, and it's all about this control and this domination, but then he's like, oh, shit, now I'm connected with her. Like, she actually showed me genuine care.
I think another good scene is when he kills the dude who he, in his mind, thought was flirting with her.
Yeah, cheating on her, yeah.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, this whole thing is, I mean, this is what Graham comes to as well, that he just wants this, he's obsessed, he wants control, he wants dominance, he wants, like, power. I mean, that's why he films them, too. Like, he has these films of them. It's like, because he has that much more control over them.
While we're on the topic of the films, when I was watching those parts of the movie where it's like from the camera's perspective of recording, the only thing I could think during those was like, this just reminds me of Sinister. Like, you know that movie?
Yeah, and a very unsettling just old VSH footage. Yeah.
Yeah. Freaking out.
I think these are both good films to pick because they're both films that have where the protagonist and the antagonist are both kind of warped versions of themselves in a way. Because the Red Dragon, this painting, this idea, it's a transformation through violence. And Will Graham's empathy with the killer is still a version of this, where they're both obsessed, but they're in like different ways, which then also plays into the idea of to become a killer, you must become one. Or to catch a killer, you must become one.
You have, like, putting yourself in the mind of your enemy and all the uncomfortable and just gross parts of that, and just letting that become you too.
Yeah, I just think it's so smart. I bet I haven't read the book, admittedly, but I've heard the book goes much more in depth with that metaphor. But I feel like it's just so well done, and it gives so many more layers to both of these characters. Also,
watch the new one though.
Yeah. Man's use of color in this, the color in this movie is nuts.
Oh my god. That's something, I have a couple qualms with some of Man's films. You will never catch me criticizing his use of color. It is so on point. He knows what he wants his films to look like. Outside of, like, the two movies, Collateral and Public Enemy, that look like they were filmed on an iPhone, which I hate.
Yeah, I really, to add to that, I really hate that early digital feel.
I hate that
a lot of
so
early
much.
2000s movies. I'm not a fan.
Collateral is so good, but I have to sit through the quality of how, like, just gross it looks. It reminds me of Scream 4, where it's like, great movie, I hate looking at it though.
Yeah, I just feel like that like super desaturated like digital look, it just was always ugly.
Collateral's so good though. I love that movie.
Collateral's a good one.
Oh, we're gonna start doing the thing again though.
Oh no, but the color. I mean, it's the same for me with Thief, where it's like it's so identifiable by its use of color.
I love when a director just doesn't have a certain color, but their use of color is part of their film. I think a very good modern example of this, Ari Aster in Midsommar and Hereditary. He knows what colors he wants to use, especially in Midsommar. The use of color in that movie is just...
he is... Ari Aster is a master of color. Here's in his newest... I mean, even more so with Eddington, his newest film, which I know a lot of people don't like. I'm a big Eddington supporter.
I still have to see that movie, yeah.
I really love Eddington.
You don't like Midsommar, but you like Eddington? I gotta see that. I love Midsommar. Still a great movie.
Here's a fun little tidbit. When I watched Midsommar for the first time, I was coming back from a school trip to Boston, and my 8th grade English teacher was sitting next to me, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I'm watching Midsommar, and then every time I'd get to like a scene that I don't want people around me to see, I just go to the restroom so I could watch it. I don't want people watching, like, seeing I'm watching Midsommar on the plane. I'm in 8th grade.
I get that. I watched, because I remember one time when I was like in class, I was watching the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and the opening of that movie is just so bad to watch in public. I had to stop doing that, bro.
Yeah, I know, but that's just a funny tidbit for Midsommar. But
love Midsommar, great movie.
Back to Manhunter.
Finally, love this movie.
But yeah, again, the colors are so great. I love how he uses. There's the use of blues and reds specifically stuck out to me. Like you have the blues usually go with Graham, and these dark reds are usually with Dollarhide. Both represent it. I mean, it just fits. Like everything about this movie it fits so perfectly. And the way he uses color to add more layers to character is so good.
Another great part of this movie, definitely the side characters. And I'm using this as an excuse to talk about my favorite part of this movie, Freddie Lounds. I love him. He is so funny, dude. Oh my god, I love that guy.
Freddie Lounds, yeah.
It's fun, bro.
But no, the stretch, speaking of Freddie Lounds, the entire stretch of when they figure out Lecter and Dollarhide are communicating through the news, through the interview, through the botched stakeout, and then with Freddy being kidnapped is like one of my favorite stretches in a procedural like ever. Like as soon as they were trying to decode the message, I was sitting up in my chair. I was dialed in.
I think the moment they staged that fake interview where they call Dollarhide gay,
so good.
That's where that start like actually kicks off for me. And when I think about this movie and I think about the standout scenes, the scene where Dollarhide kidnaps Lowndes and he has him in the chair, that is the best scene.
So brutal.
Bar none, it's so good.
I love the detail of Freddy not even wanting to look at him.
He knows if he looks at him, he's going to kill him. If he sees
it's so just so many small details it's such a great scene.
On the topic of small details in that scene, when Lowndes is not like crying, he's not screaming, he is trying his best to be calm with this guy, and I love when he just says, "Can I go now?" and just like that monotone, scared, shitless. It's so good, dude. Oh my god.
I thought correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first time you even see Dollarhide, correct?
That's the first time you see Dollarhide. Yeah,
that first cut to him and the what is it, like it's spandex over his head, it's something, it's so haunting.
Oh my god, it's so good. I will say in Red Dragon from like 2003, that might give this scene a run for its money because that has Ralph Fiennes and Philip Seymour Hoffman in those roles. And you cannot compete with that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace. I'm so mad he's dead, dude.
One of the goats.
Him and Master.
Him and the Master. Also, here, hold up, sidebar. I saw you only gave the Master 4 stars. I want to...
Yeah, and because it's a 4-star movie. If it was 5 stars, I would have given it 5 stars.
One day you'll get it.
I think I will say about The Master, I love Mr. Robot. I think that's the second greatest show ever made. When Rami Malek shows up, I literally perked up in my seat and just started. I love that guy.
One day, when you're old enough, kid, you'll understand The Master. One day.
Sure, dude.
I love also... I remember when I was your age, too, and I also thought The Master...
Aren't you like a couple months older than me?
I'm like a few weeks older than you.
dude.
Also, I love the use of mirrors in Manhunter.
Oh, that's so real.
So good. With Graham, he's just staring into people's minds and he's seeing himself looking back. And I love this. Maybe I'm far off, but the way I read it was the final scene when Graham jumps through the glass door. I almost saw that. I almost saw that as Graham almost breaking the barrier between himself and the killer. Like now they're together.
That's a very unique reading of that scene. I think if you asked Michael Mann, he would not have realized he did that.
Michael Mann would be like, "Yeah, it just looked cool as fuck to throw."
I just wanted to jump through
a window. Yeah.
Speaking of that scene, I actually have a bone to pick with that scene.
Oh, bone to pick.
I do not like the way Manhunter ends. I feel like it's such a slow burn movie, and to just end it with this big shootout, it's a little boring. And I know like Heat does it too. But Heat has, 3 hours of build-up to the final gunfight, and it only ends with the two of them in the airport. It's way different. I don't like Manhunter's shootout ending.
I have a fun production tidbit, because I also was thinking that. So, the reason that the final shootout, not before, when Graham is shooting Dollarhide, it looked like it's so jump cutty, it's so weirdly edited. Because, pretty much the entire effects crew had left the set at that point. That's a true story. So, Michael Mann was so he was such an obsessive director that he kind of just pissed off the majority of the crew. The crew were burnt out because he just would never stop. He just went and went. And so, when they got to that final day of shooting, the whole crew that did the effects was gone. They had already left. Jesus. And so they had all the blood in that scene as they were shooting ketchup out of hoses.
I could probably watch that scene back with this information in mind and be like, dude, that blood looks like ketchup so much.
And then, another thing for production is that Will Graham's actor and Dollarhide's actor never met till the last day of production.
It's just you and me now, sport.
Best
that
line of the
is
movie.
So raw. Oh
Best line of the movie. So hard.
It's just you and me now, sport. That is some
Oh.
If I was a cop and I said that, I would be looking around for high fives, dude.
I'd be like, anyone else just heard that?
Yo, wait, gotta put that on my Instagram note real quick. That's a bar.
Yeah. But so Dollarhide he never would meet the actors before he was in a scene with them. Just to add to that scare, that unsettling, that scare factor in a way.
I feel like that happens a lot.
I think a lot of dedicated actors of that sort will do that.
I feel like whenever I watch a dead meat video, a kill count, that always shows up. The killer, the guy played the killer. He never wanted to meet the crew, and I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even with it, how the Skarsgård never talked to the kids or saw them until the first scene. Mm-hmm. So the kids had no idea what he even looked like in costume before they filmed, just to get that actual fear out of them. I think it works. I think it's an effective filmmaking tactic for actors.
I know it was effective for me, dude. I remember watching it when I was 7 years old. I think that was the worst thing ever. That was the scariest movie ever, bro.
But yeah, I love Manhunter. I gave it 5 stars.
Easy 5 stars. This is the best.
Easy 5 stars. Hard recommend. Very underappreciated.
Please go watch this movie, please.
You got a favorite scene in the movie,
Zane? You got a favorite scene? Favorite scene, yeah.
I still will say it's the whole them trying to figure out what Lecter and Dollarhide are saying to each other. I think it's so well done.
When you say that, do you just mean the scene of them looking over the note and comparing it to the newspaper, or do you mean
yes.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Just I love procedural stuff like that, where it's, especially because this was before they had a lot of modern detective and criminology stuff. So they were. I love when they have to solve. They can't just go oh, we have DNA. It's we have to solve this stuff.
It's
we
so
have to
weird
really
watching that movie now and being and seeing how they had to solve this case. I'm so used to seeing modern technology used in film, and just seeing them work for every bit of information.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'll say, and I don't want this out of context, and I'm not defending criminals or saying that
this is gonna be
it's good.
This is the first
criminal
podcast, and you're already saying some shit, bro.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying the criminals are in the right. I'm not advocating for them. I'm not advocating for criminals, but it is way too hard to be a criminal nowadays.
Like, I feel like even just like not even in this era, like 100 years ago, if you put the average criminal back then, they are putting up like Wilt Chamberlain numbers, bro.
Yeah, like it was so easy. Like I'm not saying any of that is good. I'm not saying committing crimes is wrong and bad.
There's a great John Mulaney
Quote Zane
bit.
Donahue.
There's a great John Mulaney bit where he talks about like old-timey bank robberies, and he said like, if you were out of there before the cops got there, there was a 99% chance you were gonna get away. That's so true. How were they gonna get you?
Yeah, you just walk into a bank, take the money, and you're out on your horse in 3 minutes. Like
You grow a mustache, you grow a beard, you move like a city away. You are
it's like no one knows anything. Like it's just nowadays, it's like you can't even like jaywalk. Like they're getting your ass. Like they know everything.
Digital footprint is crazy, dude. Like,
Again, I'm not saying
crime is wrong.
Crime is wrong. Let it be known. The First Draft podcast denounces crime. Crime is bad. I just want to say that. I just want to put that out there. Crime is wrong.
We watched 2 movies about the like even the next movie is about how being a criminal is not that bad sometimes.
I would not say that's what my reading of Unforgiven is.
There is Unforgiven. You can make. I'm gonna make the argument for that. Dude.
I watched Unforgiven. It's like, yeah, I watched Unforgiven. What do you think about it? It's like, yeah, I watched Unforgiven. Being an outlaw is badass.
Dude, what do you mean? Unforgiven kicks ass, dude. He's so cool.
He's so cool.
Dude, if someone watches Unforgiven and they say, dude, Unforgiven is so cool, we can't be friends anymore.
Clint Eastwood was so badass in that movie.
This is like the least cool Eastwood movie of all time. Besides the movie where he's an actual racist. Like,
I actually have not seen Gran Turismo.
I only know
Gran Torino.
I keep getting that movie mixed up with $1 Million Baby, so I keep thinking Sandra Bullock's coach to be a boxer was super racist. It's really weird. Anyway,
I've only seen the Shane Gillis podcast about Gran Torino. That's my experience with Gran Torino.
I have not seen $1 Million Baby, but I have seen the It's Always Sunny episode, $100 Baby, where they parody the movie, and that's really funny. It's Always Sunny Philadelphia, top 3 shows.
All right, are we ready to talk about Unforgiven?
Yeah, let's talk about Unforgiven. This movie kicks ass, dude. I love it.
This movie is like the Baby Driver of Western.
This movie's the LeBron James of Western.
No, it low-key is, though, if you think about it.
Nah, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, dude. That's still the best Western. Oh, cool, ma. Jersey Mike's is here. I might have to eat during the podcast.
Okay.
Sponsored by Jersey
Mike's.
Mike's.
This is unprofessional behavior. You're fired already.
Yo, Jake, back me up real quick.
We're actually replying. Jake it's gonna be me and Jake now.
You want to have a film podcast with Jake? But you know how that would go.
I like how no one knows who Jake is. Like Jake can listen and be like, "What the hell?" Jake
is just a cryptid and an urban legend.
It's this urban legend, Jake Lazar, that haunts us.
Jake haunts the narrative of the First Draft podcast.
For real. But
for real, bro.
In comparison to Manhunter, Unforgiven is a wildly more successful movie. I mean, it was a box office smash. It won 4 Oscars. It gave Clint Eastwood won his Best Director, Best Picture.
Sidebar, I don't know how you're going to take this, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on the podcast. And why is Clint Eastwood still directing movies? Like,
that's not what I thought you were about to say.
Zane, what did you think I was going to say, bro?
I don't know. I was a little scared.
Doesn't Clint Eastwood have a movie coming out next year, or did it already come out?
It was, what was it?
7,
I watched this. Juror number 7. Yeah, I thought it was good.
With Nicholas Hoult, who was one of the best actors working right now. Mad Max, Menu, Superman. I love all those movies.
Nosferatu.
Oh my god, Nosferatu. Dude, can we talk about Nosferatu one day? I love Nosferatu.
Yes, one day. Not right now.
Alright, sorry, we're not talking about Unforgiven. We're talking about Nosferatu from 2024. What was that, 2024 2025?
No, that's 2024.
You know, there's a really good song by a certain rapper called 2024.
Okay, guys, Unforgiven. This movie has a long legacy, and it's very... I don't know how to explain this, but it's so fascinating that the director and lead actor who made his name in classic spaghetti westerns, the Dollars Trilogy by Sergio Leone, Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And it's so fascinating, this difference between that character and Unforgiven. Just how...
I got a little tidbit about Fistful of Dollars, because you got to tell a tidbit about your film. Okay. There's a theater where I live in Jersey here, Princeton Garden Theater. I got to see a showing of Fistful of Dollars, and they did a little trivia before the film, and I won a free popcorn and free soda because I got a question right. So that's really cool. So I have that little connection with this movie forever now.
Yes.
Woo!
But my headcanon, but I think this is how I read the movie.
There is no way
is that I think that the man with no name, this is the same character.
That is a horrible take, Zane. Oh, dude, why would you say that on me?
Horrible take. That's so because it's so meta. It makes thematic sense between
Eastwood
in the '60s,
dude. When you said
Eastwood
meta
in the '90s, no, we're not. No meta talk.
You said meta. I can only think of Jude, bro.
Bro, this is also someone no one knows who this is.
Do we know what meta means now?
Hey, your hoagie's here.
Hey, can you bring it in, please? I can't really leave the pod. Dude, my Jersey Mike's is here. This first episode's going great, Zane. Just give me a sec to calm down. Alright, keep talking.
I mean, I read that this is the man with no name after a lifetime of violence. I mean, he's old, he's broken, he's empty, and I think that's what Eastwood was going for, especially because Eastwood got this script in the 80s. And he waited 10 years. He waited 10 years to make Unforgiven because he didn't think he was old enough yet.
See, that's how you should do a film like this. Because, you said that reminded me of, like, how The Godfather Part 3 was made. This is such, like, a different way of approaching that. The Godfather Part 3 sucks, dude. That movie's bad.
But I think this is just, it's such the way Eastwood filters not only his career, but the Western genre into Unforgiven. It's so fascinating just from so many different levels, especially because anyone else did, if you made Unforgiven with a different actor and director that wasn't Eastwood, but it was the same, everything was identical, the same, it'd be just almost just as good. But it's the fact that it is Eastwood, it's his movie. He is the character.
He is the face of the Wild West in films.
Yeah.
When you think about, dude, my Jersey Mike's is here. Sweet. Yo, where's my soda?
What's soda? You didn't ask.
I asked for a root beer. Where's my root beer?
What the fuck?
No, he actually did ask for a root beer.
Yo, Adrian, I actually have it on tape, me asking for a root beer.
Yo, Jake, did he ask for a root beer?
Adrian, I'm actually going to have to ask you to stop using profanity. This podcast is rated PG. It says that on our poster, yeah.
It actually does say it on the poster.
Yeah, and we also have a little bit of swashbuckling violence.
I think I've already dropped like 4 F-bombs. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is Zane. Adrian, I'm doing a podcast right now. Can you please leave, bro?
Yeah, we're on air.
Adrian, this is on air.
I got myself a root beer.
No, I got a root beer.
No, I got a beer.
Yo, Zane, I might actually have to step out to find this root beer, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't get you a root beer.
Yo, who has my root
I
beer?
got a root beer for me.
Can I get my root beer, though?
No, dude, ask her just to go back to Jersey Mike's and get you a root beer.
Carolyn is willing to share her Sprite.
Yo, I'm about to hop in a car and go to Jersey Mike's with this root beer.
Bro, you don't even have your license. Let's be so for real.
Yo, shut up. Adrian, get me my root beer.
You're unemployed at 16. Oh my god. You're a bum.
Unemployed? This is our job. Just wait till the sponsors roll in.
You're an entrepreneur. You're a risk taker.
We're networking.
This is so meta, bro.
Bro, we're networking at the New York Film Festival.
I want a root beer. I ordered a root beer. I don't want to.
I got myself a root beer. Okay, and she said, and maybe we can share. But then,
Yo, Adrian, you're asking me to get slimed out right now.
I'm really not that life, cuz. Are those fireworks or gunshots?
Yo, this is actually like the plot of Unforgiven. This is what happens.
Thank God he's gone, bro. Sorry about that. Bro, I asked for a root beer. You heard that, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know you asked for a root beer.
In the YouTube video, someone put a poll at the bottom. Did Julian ask for a root beer?
we know you asked for a root beer. It's not like a secret. We know.
I'm gonna eat my Jersey Mike's real quick, bro. I'm so hungry.
Yo, can you not put the wrapper right to the mic, please? Oh, holy loud! Oh my god.
Jersey Mike's is good as fuck, though.
Bro, it's so loud.
So good. Holy shit, it's so good. Alright, what are we talking about again? Right, Unforgiven. This movie works well as, like, a deconstruction of the Western narrative, especially in, like, the side characters. What's the name of the white kid who was running around with Morgan Freeman?
The kid? What's his name?
His name is just the kid, yeah.
No, it's the Schofield kid.
Schofield kid, yes. I love his character and how he represents... this might sound like a stretch, but you got to have your stretch, so I'm going to have mine. I feel like he represents the kids who watched Clint Eastwood movies and idolized that.
No, absolutely, yeah.
In that ending scene, where it's not like the ending scene, but it's like towards the end of his character, where he's crying over having shot a man and he's drinking. That is such a good scene, and it shows like the romanticism. No, like,
is that not a word?
Shoot. Jake, can you Google if that's a word real quick?
No, but I actually agree with that. With that
my
stretch.
Sprite, bro. Hold on, sorry, my Sprite's here.
It's the root beer.
It's the root beer. Good.
E-fog.
You gave me my e-fog.
I don't.
We're trying to network.
Adrian, what are colleges gonna think when they listen to the podcast and they hear me arguing over if I ordered a root beer for like 10 minutes?
You're giving it to a college?
Yeah, I'm giving these to colleges.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
Maybe I can talk over your eating.
I'm not even eating that loud, bro.
Okay. But back to what we're talking about, the Schofield kid. I think that also fits in.
Yeah.
That kind of fits in with the character of Mr. Bucamp, who arrived with English Bob. That he represents this he writes about these legends, these myths of the Old West. And I think when he's following an English Bob, it's supposed to be this legendary outlaw, and then we get the scene where little Bill just embarrasses little Bob, and we learn about
the actual story.
Yeah, the actual story about how he was drunk and shot an unarmed injured man because he was embarrassed.
No.
So it's the Schofield, Mr. Bucamp, and his stories are what the Schofield kid believes in. He believes in like that the Old West, this is romantic adventure, this journey of fun and adventure, and then he's faced with the actual truth of how this disgusting, dehumanizing violence.
I think also this doesn't really go on about what you're saying, but it is the same scene. That scene where little Bill tells Mr. Bucamp to hold the gun and point it at him, that is one of the most tense scenes I have ever seen, dude. Just his pure fear and little Bill's attention and like willingness, because like you don't know if he's gonna shoot him. Like, it's scary. It's so scary, dude.
And then back to the scene of the Schofield kid crying. Some all-timer dialogue delivered right there from Mr. Eastwood. It's a hell of a thing, killing a man.
Oh my god.
Oh, unbelievable.
No, I know what you're going for. Best line in the movie. When he comes back, like, and he's in his full, like, cowboy, and he's accepted the fact that he is a murderer, he's gonna keep murdering. When he shoots the first guy, and he says, "You just shot an unarmed man." Should have armed himself. That is so baller, dude.
I love Deserves Got Nothing to Do with It.
Oh my god.
So good. I love
What are you saying?
I love this movie. This is one of this movie. I don't play about Unforgiven.
Me and Zane were talking about this before we started recording. I gave this movie 4 stars when I first saw it because I thought it was boring. I rewatched it and I was like sitting down and paying attention. This might be one of the most perfect movies ever made, dude.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I can't wait till you have the exact same reaction. When
I'm not going to give The Master 5 stars anytime soon.
When we cover The Master?
We are not covering... Jake, make a list of movies we're never covering. Make it only The Master.
I love the violence in Unforgiven because it's not flashy, it's not cool. I mean, it's like brutal.
You want to know a film
real.
that you can compare the violence to? When I think of the violence in Unforgiven, I think of the violence in
No Country for Old Men.
I was gonna say No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
You're living in my brain, bro. I was literally gonna say that.
Because take most action movies or even most westerns. Like when they're about to shoot, you're like, hell yes, like this is what I'm here for.
Switch them down.
Like, yeah, but in this movie, every time there was about to be violence, I was like, oh no. It's just it's so real and it's so brutal.
The kid in the leg, and he's like trying to drag himself away, and his friends aren't doing anything. I don't feel like, hell yeah, he just shot that kid. I'm like, dude, can I watch something else now?
Yeah, it's brutal, and it's even more brutal because they stretch it out so much.
You get to see his last breath. You get to see him begging for water, not for his
water.
life.
He crawls to safety. It's so brutal.
Also, this movie starts with a dude mutilating a prostitute because she made fun of his dick size. Nothing's flashy. It's not romanticizing that.
It's all it's gross, it's real, it's murky.
Also, off topic, but when I was watching that scene, all I was reminded of was the similar scene in Creature Commandos. I don't know if you've seen that show yet.
I have not seen that yet.
Oh, it's canon to the DCU, dude. You gotta watch it.
Yeah. And I love how it questions moral ambiguity and frontier justice because it's not saying, because even Little Bill in his law, it's not moral. Like, both sides are both bad, and I love how Unforgiven's a Western and an anti-Western because it has all the genre staples. I mean, we have the outlaws, the bounty hunters, the sheriff, we have the bar, the brothel, but it doesn't glamorize. It shows the pain and the cost of all these things. It doesn't make it flashy or fun. I
feel like we just gotta have this discussion real quick on the topic of the best deconstruction of what the Western narrative is. What are you going for, Unforgiven or No Country?
I would argue that No Country isn't as much a deconstruction of a Western. I'd say if you'd want to make that argument, I'd say Assassination of Jesse James would be a much more
That's a good shout. Love that movie.
Film to look at because No Country for Old Men. It has those Western things, but there's no Western tropes in No Country. Like it's not going. Here's the. I mean, you could look at it.
There is. There's the sheriff, the outlaw. And also the film being set in the modern day is the final nail in the coffin of that being a deconstruction. Taking all the tropes and stereotypes we know from the Old West and you put them in today. And that's what the whole movie's about. Because it even starts with him talking about the sheriff talking about in his dad's day which was set around the time of Unforgiven.
That is a good point. I never looked at it as much as a deconstruction of a Western. I just kind of looked at it as a modern Western. Like if you made a Western today in this climate of the world, it would be No Country.
I feel like this is the best way you can put it, and this is just me. If you want a deconstruction of their Western genre, you go to Unforgiven. No Country for Old Men is not deconstruction, more of the fallout of the Western. All the side effects and everything negative that comes from that kind of world seeping into today, you get No Country. You get that random violence. All the tropes are still around, but it's just so much more sadder and so much more real. The main guy gets spoiler for No Country for Old Men in case you haven't seen it. The main guy gets shot off screen halfway through the movie.
Yeah. Also, here's another shout. First off, we will be discussing No Country in a future episode.
Obviously, that is one of my favorite. And two,
one of the best. To talk about Ari Aster again, I'd say Eddington is another.
Get out of here with Eddington. There's no way that movie.
I'm telling you, bro, it's a modern Western.
3 times.
Because more people need to understand that what. You know what? We'll talk about Eddington one day.
Okay. Next up, Jake, add Eddington to the list of movies we're never talking about.
Jake, make the next episode discussing The Master in Eddington.
Jake, sign me out of this podcast.
But also, here's another fun tidbit for Unforgiven. The screenplay was written by David Webb Peoples, who also wrote the script for Blade Runner. And I think that's very interesting.
Wait, which Blade Runner?
For the original Blade Runner.
The second Blade Runner is way better, though.
I agree, but I like how you could see Unforgiven and Blade Runner as almost deconstructions of genre, because they both use genre trappings of sci-fi and western, but they use they almost Trojan horse these genre staples to get in and explore deeper philosophical themes in these genres.
I feel that. Yeah, when you were starting that sentence, when I only heard Blade, I was like, there is no way the guy who wrote Unforgiven also wrote Blade from 1998. You were lying.
You know that I think David Webb Peoples actually wrote Hubie Halloween. That might be.
Oh wait, why come when I said Blade, you immediately compared it to Hubie Halloween? I love Blade. That movie's awesome.
Yeah, have you seen Hubie Halloween though?
I have. Yeah, I was a kid. Yeah, my dad was a big Adam Sandler fan, so of course I've seen like every Adam Sandler movie twice. Have you seen Little Nicky?
I've not seen.
Okay, next episode, Adam Sandler movies, Little Nicky.
Jake, put on the list of movies we're never talking.
Wait, hold. Oh, wait, that's actually. Can we do the two most serious Adam Sandler movies, Uncut Gem and Punch Drunk Love?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love those movies. Uncut Gem, best movie ever.
But I love. I'm going off notes. I love how Little Bill thinks he's upholding the law, but he's just as bad as the outlaws.
His introduction scene where he has the two men down and he is discussing their punishment with them, and he's completely ignoring the actual victims. He's not taking into consideration what is their best interest, only to what is to him fair is fair. You know, you get a couple ponies because technically those women are property.
I know. I
don't have to say that's good or anything.
And I love this detail because I didn't even think of it the first time I watched it on this rewatch. They whenever Little Bill's not on screen and all his other deputies are talking, they always talk about how he's building a house and how in the first scene before they come up and talk to English Bob, they talk about how he's building a porch and he's building it all wrong. And one of his last lines before William kills him is, "I was just building a house."
Fuck, dude.
Because he was building it. He was building his idea of justice, of law, but it was wrong. They spell it out in the conversation. He was building it wrong. None of it fit together. I never noticed it, but it's such a good little detail.
It's so weird. Bill is one of those movie villains, and he's my favorite kind of villain, where he truly, to his core, believes what he is doing is the best course of action. It's like he is not trying to do. He's not like the good outweighs the bad, or like there's a payoff. No, he truly thinks every action he took benefited everybody. He thought. I'm trying to think of other movie villains who act like that. Shoot, who are some?
But I get what you're saying. He's just because he never sees himself in the wrong. He thinks everything he does as justifiable and fair. Everything he does, he's like, this is upholding the law. Like, this is my law.
It's like the colonel, the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. He didn't see what he was doing as wrong. He was just like trying to do what he thought was the best for these days. Man, I love Stanley Kubrick, dude.
But I love I'm not sure this is an official genre, but I love these kind of end of era type of stories. And just watching it again for a second time, it brought up so many other things. Like I already mentioned the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, but it also the two ones I thought about one, The Sopranos. And
oh my god! Yes,
just the idea of taking a genre and deconstructing it and stripping it down to its absolute truth and showing how unglamorous it is. I mean, Scorsese did the same with The Irishman. I mean, it feels like a complete antithesis to other movies. Like, this seems like it's a polar opposite of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Sopranos and The Irishman are responses to Goodfellas and similar gangster films. Because it's
I should have thought of that, man. That's like
it always because you could say that Unforgiven might be the last true great Western, like classic Western. Because I feel like it's the end of an era, the same way with The Sopranos was kind of the end of gangster movies in America. I feel like they're just. Exactly. We get to a point where you've stripped it down all the way and there's nothing left.
The only thing that is like left to do is to take a look at the inside and see what we felt like about those looking back now. Also, thank you so much for bringing up The Sopranos, because Tony Soprano might fit the bill of a man who truly thinks he's only doing the right thing, like to his core. Like strip back everything. Like
I'm
even
not.
Walter White, like he says towards the end, like I did it for me.
Yeah.
Tony Soprano never. He only wanted to benefit his family.
I don't want to get started on The Sopranos because I'll talk forever.
Oh my god, I will talk for longer, dude.
I'll save the point I was about to make for a different episode.
I know it's a film podcast. We need one episode.
Yeah.
We can talk about the many saints of Newark or something.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love how we immediately open with Eastwood's character, and we immediately like show how he's incompetent. Like when he's trying to work with the pig, and he falls in the mud. Yeah. He can't hit the can with his revolver. So he uses a shotgun. He falls off his horse. Like we have the image from the Schofield kid of like this badass just killer, and then we get to it, and he's just a sad, broken old man who can't really do anything.
Washed, bro.
Yeah, for real. Also, I love how this film, unlike most westerns, it gives power to the powerless. The prostitutes who set off the story, they demand justice, but we see how that goes. They won't really punish the men, and the men don't really treat them as people. So we give the prostitutes this power to like take matters into their own hands. Mm-hmm. And I think that whole plot, like that whole beginning plot thread, is so interesting because, like, you can think the prostitutes are at the moral center of this whole ordeal, but are they really? Are they complicit in the violence? Because these men did a terrible thing, and there was no need and they should be punished. But they cut her face and hurt her, and their response is, "We want them dead."
I mean, that goes back to like frontier justice, especially that scene where Mr. Bucco is talking to Little Bill, and he says something about somebody not fixing his roof properly, and Mr. Bucco says, "You gotta hang him now," like as a joke, and Little Bill takes that so personally and so literally, and like just chews him out for a couple seconds. Mm-hmm. I love that part too.
I think Morgan Freeman gives a very underrated
we gotta
performance.
Talk about that.
I think his Ned is almost this like moral epicenter between the kid and Will, because when it's time to kill, he can't. Like he's a known outlaw. He's killed many before, but he gets to it and he can't. And I feel like Ned represents this moral line where everything before Ned's death is argued as, "Oh, we're doing it to survive, for money, for justice." But as soon as Ned is killed, that the whole moral act drops. Now this is for vengeance. This is for me now.
I love the part. I mean, I love the fact that the only thing that brings Will back to being like his past, like prime gunslinger, a top tier murderer, is Ned's death. That is like, because this whole film feels like Will trying so hard to suppress that part of him, to try to convince himself he is not that kind of person anymore. He isn't who that is. But at the end of the day, that is all he can really be. That's the only thing he was good at. And him just like going crazy in the town, I love that part. And it's just like an ugly acceptance. This is me. This is who I am. I can't do anything else.
One of my favorite climaxes ever in a movie, period.
That's how a film should end, with a shootout. That does it way better than
MANHUNTER. And speaking of that, I love that it's the final scene. It's almost Eastwood going like, he's almost giving us what we want. Like, okay, here's the shootout you want, but it doesn't feel.
That is such a good.
We ended, and we don't feel like we're not like, oh, that was so cool, or like, oh my god, like this is brutal.
It kind of feels like, I can only compare it to like a horror movie. Like when you watch a horror movie, you go in with the mindset of like, hell yeah, let's watch some stupid teens get murdered. But if you take a regular, like if you take Lady Bird and then you turn it into a slasher movie, that would just be
brutal.
Like, yeah, it'd be like, I've been trying to connect with this person for the entire movie, and now they're just gonna die.
Yeah, I think that's where great slashers, great horror works, where you actually care about the characters.
Imagine that. Imagine a slasher movie where you're like actually invested in the characters.
Maybe one day.
When we direct a horror movie.
But the end is just so good. I love it. It's Eastwood. He's giving us what we want to see, but he's condemning us for it. And I really love, another detail I just noticed on the second watch was the dialogue with the writer in the bar. Because he was asked, like, what order did he kill people? And Eastwood lets this man live. And just from everything we've seen, that he's going to go write a story about the infamous gunslinger William Money and how he killed 5 people with one gun. So now he's going to immortalize this guy again. And that's going to inspire more people like the Schofield kid. So it's almost showing this is like this sick, like it's a circle, it's a cycle about how these myths get immortalized. What do you say?
I think the Schofield kid is my favorite character in the movie. I love everything he represents. I love how he acts. I like the scene where he talks to Ned about how far he can see, and he gets so defensive over it. I think that's fun. I think you disagree with me.
I love how he's blind. Like, he's blind. I love that detail. He can't see the full picture of what he's doing. He just sees it as, oh, my uncle was a bounty hunter, so I need to be a bounty hunter. And it's cool when this is these legendary men. Like, he can literally only see half of the picture. That's just so good.
This movie's so good, man.
This is just one of the best movies for me. I love Unforgiven.
I hate to give 2 5 stars in the same episode.
Yeah, but no, it has to.
They're both 5 stars.
And I love just the title too, because we have Will Eastwood's character can't forgive himself. Bill dies bitter, unredeemed, and unchanged. The girls are still mistreated. Ned dies, and the kid is scarred for life. Like, no one comes out of this story on top. It's a series of bad actions that just keep overlapping on each other. Every action a character takes affects every other character and leads. It's just a cycle of events that just keeps getting worse and worse.
There's no character arc in this movie. There are more of like characters will come up to like. It's not like a character arc. It's more of characters trying their hardest to ignore who they actually are. Money does not want to be a gunslinger, but knows he is. Little Bill is trying his hardest to like be the law, but is only perpetrating evil things into the world. And as we have gone over, the Schofield kid wants to be a gunslinger, but he can't.
Yeah, it's a movie about people who want nothing more to change, but they just can't.
They can't bring themselves.
Holy mic drop.
Can someone clip that real quick?
yeah. Like, can we post that? Can we post that one on TikTok?
Can we put an edit audio over that?
But yeah, I think that's kind of all I want to say about Unforgiven. I mean, I could keep gushing, but
favorite scene just to close out.
Favorite scene. I mean, the final 10 minutes. I mean, I gotta give it to it. I mean, there's just.
I gotta go with the Schofield kid crying. That's my favorite scene.
So good too. But we've talked for an hour and 10 minutes.
Great first episode.
Yeah, great first episode. For the next one, little heads up, we are going to be doing a Tarantino retrospective.
Yeah.
Talking about all his movies, and you're going to witness a 4-hour argument over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, Zane has just perfect opinion ever.
Just know that there's going to be an argument.
That argument's not getting a PG rating, bro.
Yeah, no. I might have to change it to a PG-13 on the picture. Okay, I'm not sure NYU is gonna appreciate it.
I gotta clip that out, bro.
All right, well, thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next week.
All right, see you, vamps. How do you stop recording?
We're not. No, you're sitting in this silence for another moment.
Is it because I said vamps?
We're gonna sit here for a second. Just simmer in it.
Am I meta now?
Okay, we're done.